Welcome, everyone, to All Women Driven, the podcast where we dive into the past of women in automotive to drive women forward. So, I'm your host, Sarah Davis. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify under All Women Driven or Beauty Mama Bear on Instagram. Don't forget to share, do all the things to help me move forward. Where you're listening, Spotify, I know that you can share and like there. YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. That will give you and hit that notification bell so that way you are notified every time I post a video. I try and do every 2 weeks. So far, it's been a consistent every 2 weeks. So, other channels you should check out are Long MacArthur. I am over there as well on Tuesday nights and occasional other videos as well, along with the membership videos. You should also check out the Ford Video Guide channel. RagnarCon, All Terrain Nation is wonderful if you're in the off-road community. And Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, which is like the Long MacArthur channel, but for the Canadian side of things. All right, so this week's guest, we have Andrea. So, Andrea, just what do you do in automotive?
I currently work and have worked for the past 10 years for the Rebelle Rally, but lots of different things in automotive throughout the years, but the Rebelle is my main focus.
Okay.
99% of the time.
Okay. Now, Rebelle isn't your full-time, so what do you do full-time?
I don't really have a full-time.
Okay.
The Rebelle is probably my closest thing to full-time. It's what I focus most of my efforts on. I have a clothing company on the side. It's called Off-Road Like a Girl, and just apparel for women in automotive engineering, motorsports. I am an EMT by certification. And I work on a bunch of different things, but I would say the Rebelle is the closest to full-time.
Okay. That's awesome. So what do you do with Rebelle?
I am the competitor liaison and registrar for the Rebelle Rally. So I am the point of contact for competitors when they want to, from the day they discover it and are interested till the on and forward through that.
Okay. So how do you help through the process of the actual race week?
So the Rebelle is not a race. It's not a race for speed. We don't describe it as a race. It's just not accurate, just for the record. We refer to it as a rally because that's what it is. It's a rally. It's strategy-based, checkpoint-based. I work on all communications that are issued to competitors go through me. But my main process in helping people get from kind of point A to point B, so to speak, is upon registration. I am the person that reaches out to them first. I'm the one processing everything. I set up all of the invoicing for registration and all that stuff. And then I am in touch with them throughout the year. So pretty much everything that they need to know to get up to and through tech inspection and to the start line goes from us through me to them.
Okay, perfect. Yep, I am new to the rally world. I discovered this world 2 years ago, maybe, and I'm still learning. So I appreciate that definition there.
Oh yeah, it's a natural jump for me because it is, especially. The way that the event is set up, just the word race is, it's just, so I didn't mean to jump on you.
No, you're good. I appreciate it because I have called it race in the past and I haven't ever really known what to call it.
Yeah.
So rally is perfect. I love that. We're learning.
Competition. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anything but race because it's,
Perfect. So have you always been in automotive or had a background in that before coming into Rebelle?
As a hobby, yes. I grew up going out to the desert with both parents. Both of my parents worked in science and chemistry and the kind of bioengineering world, if you will. And but their hobby was out, being out in the desert, driving out, kind of as the overlanders these days refer to it, driving out to the middle of nowhere and staying there for a long time, but was never really rooted in motorsports. It was always the purpose of it. The purpose of the driving was to get to the destination, which I love. But I found, through all of those trips growing up as a kid, that the driving and getting out there driving and being allowed to get in the car at a young age and drive parts of it was almost my favorite part, more so than the destinations that we were reaching. But as far as growing up and entering the job field, I actually worked at our local diner here in town. And I got that job when I was 15, 16, and I worked there till I was 30. So it was about 15 years in the restaurant industry, which was super fun, great for, through high school and college, and great way to connect with people, learn customer service, learn communication skills and patience. The restaurant industry teaches you a lot of patience.
Yes.
So that was what I did for a long time. For 15 years, that was what I did. But through high school, my boyfriend in high school was the first one who took me to the desert for the purpose of off-roading. And at the time, it kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense to me necessarily. I'm like, well, where are we going camping? Are there hikes to do? Are there, waterfalls to go see? Can we go bouldering? And we're going to this spot that has good trails. I'm like, okay, I'll roll with it. And so we went out there and we camped with a group of friends. And there was one older guy there who had a T100, very well built T100 that I looked at and said, I don't get it. What's the big deal? And I ended up making my way over and talking myself into getting a ride in the thing. And I just remember in that moment getting out of the truck and just my face hurt. My entire face hurt because I had been smiling so big I thought my teeth were going to fly out of my mouth. and that was kind of a pivotal moment for me where motorsports and wanting to live in that world really, really hit hard.
Yeah.
So that was probably about 17, 18 when I was introduced to it as a sport and as something that you do for fun, not to get somewhere, but to do. And so I forget the original question. I'm going to do that a lot.
No, you're okay. So what brought you to Rebel?
The Rebel at the time was 2015, and my boss and the rally founder and director, Emily Miller, was a regular at actually the diner where I worked. The diner where I worked. And I had been at that time for a couple years just doing fun kind of time trial events in a little 7S Toyota pickup race truck that I had and still have, needs to be fixed. But I'd been doing events in that, and Emily and I knew each other through the diner, and she was a customer and I was a server, and we'd known each other for a long time, but I think we just had the subject never came up of off-road or motorsports. And I was up at the counter where she was sitting, and I was showing somebody next to her or close by her a video from one of the events that I had done recently, just of one of the runs of the time trial. And I remember she said, "Oh, I didn't know you were, into off-road. I didn't know you, did that. That's cool. We should get coffee and hang out sometime." And we did. And during that was right after work that day. And during that meeting, she explained to me about the Rebel and how she was founding it and gonna put it on. And I knew nothing at the time of navigation rally and that style of competition. It was so new to me, and just fascinating. And she explained to me navigation basics and how as much as you can explain navigation basics over time. But it was fascinating to me, and then you just turned into kind of this is something that you would be interested in being a part of in one way or another, and it evolved from there. And I've been working with Emily now since she first launched the Rebel, and so it was one of those universe just kind of sending things to fall into place. I had just graduated college and with a degree really not all that related to anything in motorsports, but in communications, which is where I ended up working, within the Rebel world. So that it worked out.
Yeah, that's perfect. I've heard of. I don't have a college degree.
You don't need one.
No, you don't. My dad,
especially these days, you don't need one.
No, my dad went through 6 years of college and he's in his is in Parks and Recreation, and he does internet sales and now YouTube vlogging and blogging and everything else. So
yeah,
he doesn't use his degree per se. He uses the communications part, but that's it.
Definitely. So, I feel like the one thing that everyone I went to college with that has degrees in fields that are completely unrelated to what they do professionally, the one thing is basically just they're better at kind of like sitting through and being patient through stuff, because I feel like that's the one thing that you're going to get out of, regardless of what your degree is, that's the one thing that it teaches you is to just like stick with it until it's done and put in work to try to get through it.
Right. Yeah.
That's about it. The subject matter, man. I mean, there's so many ways. I mean, from going to trade school to learn a specific thing, to just having a mentor, never doing any schooling and having a mentor who can teach you more than any, college student will learn.
Yeah. So when we were talking, I think it was last week, been a long few weeks now. You mentioned kids. So you have kids. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. My partner and I have 2 girls. They are 11 and 8 now, which is crazy to me, but
so busy activities and going through all of that.
All the activities. Yes.
All the activities. So how do you balance, what you're doing with Rebel and the kids?
Oh man, like I balance everything else in life that I choose to put attention into. It's completely reliant on the support and support and help from people around me. Having a partner who the type of partner who is, maybe not stoked about, but more than willing to, have you just say, okay, I gotta go. And, we got our 3-year-old and our 6-month-old who had never taken a bottle before at the time. And I didn't bother trying to prime her for that. I just say, here's a baby, here's a stuff you need, good luck. And it's, having a partner who is stoked for you because you're excited about something is huge. I mean, they're just excited for you because it's something that you're passionate about. That's been I don't know what I would do without that. And then my mom is my rock, and she would fly to the moon and back for me 1,000 times over if she thinks it's something that will make life easier for me. So yeah, lots of help. And this community, every year that I go on the rally, and my partner, he works full time too, and so every year I go on the rally, childcare is expensive. If we have to, we'll pay for it. But outside of school hours, I just send a text to the moms or families, whatever, in the neighborhood, and just say, hey, I'll be gone these dates. Anyone who wants to grab a slot, let me know, because it would be helpful. And we have a great community here, and lots of parents with younger kids. So I completely leaning on the people around me as far as support with the kids, for sure. And the school is great. They have a great school here, so knowing that they're in good hands when they're there. And but other than that, a very well organized calendar. And lots of coffee.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you do a lot of things. So do you have any side gigs or hobbies that you like to do?
Oh man, I feel like off-road is the job and the hobby. So it takes up most of the time. I picked up a few years back. I found out through the developing symptoms that I have a spinal cord injury at my C6 and 7. And the symptoms went from 0 to 100% kind of literally overnight, one night. And I woke up and said, something's wrong. And so through that, I've actually picked up just kind of like random things that have helped me just get back into like fine-tune motor skills, things that were really hard for me after that, just to kind of, but both psychological therapy, but also physical therapy, and using your hands and trying to get better controlled movements when your movements are erratic and you can't trust your own. It was a challenge. So I picked up fiber art. I don't know if you've seen like the 1970s 80s term would be macrame, like the wall hangings with the knots and stuff. So I picked that up at that time. Once I got out of my depression and out of bed, I was like, I need something to do that doesn't involve getting tossed in a truck, because I can't do that right now. And so fiber art, I have a lot of fun with that. I don't do as much of it as I would like to. I just need to set this time aside for it. But I've done something huge. I did a 8.5 foot wide piece that took me months to make, that hangs over the headboard in our house in the desert. That was my first one I ever did, and that is awesome. It's fun. I like it. So fiber art. In the summer when it's warm, I'm a seasonal surfer. I'm a very picky surfer. So in the summer, like August and early September, when it's warm enough here on the coast and our water temps go up, I'll surf. Gosh, I don't know. Off-road takes up a lot of it though. It's when I'm not working. We're out, and we have a home in Borrego Springs, and we're out there playing.
Yeah. We recently got chickens.
I love chickens. We only have one. We have one chicken.
Okay.
One chicken, but I love chickens. Are you enjoying it?
We are. Yeah, we went right out the bat. We bought 8, then bought 2 more 5 weeks later, and now 6 weeks after that, we've bought 4 more.
It's a snowball. It's a snowball hobby for sure. Yeah.
The chicken math is real.
The chicken math is real, but the chicken math puts out. I mean, until you get the freeloading chickens, like our chicken, she's an absolute freeloader. She just, she'll go for months. I'm like, you're not even doing your part, and I'm still feeding you. But okay.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to try, fiber art or the macrame, and trying that, but I do so many other hobbies. I'm one of those that learns a hobby within 2 weeks and then it's done. So I have to be like careful, because I will dive in deep, be completely obsessed, and then I'm done after 2 weeks.
Oh, and then you end up with boxes and boxes of materials for that hobby that you're unwilling to part with. So that
because I might pick it up later, but then I never do.
What have you tried so far? What different things?
So I've done resin art, diamond painting. I was selling resin art along with some other jewelry I was selling. My current one is permanent jewelry. So I've been selling permanent jewelry on the side.
Wait, permanent jewelry. What would temporary jewelry be?
So permanent jewelry is usually ones that are welded on. So it's the chain, and then they use a jump ring and they weld on the jump ring. Okay. I don't weld mine. We're in a farming community, and a lot of people are like, well, I'm kind of nervous because it might, cause me harm if it gets caught in machinery. And I'm like, well, I don't weld, so it's perfect. So it gives it a point of breakage. So it won't break the chain. It won't break the weld. It's super easy to put back on. But basically it's jewelry without a clasp. So you put it on and it doesn't come back off.
Wow, oh, I've never heard of that. I'm going to be Googling that. Great. See, now I'm going to be rabbit holing now. Thank you. That's really cool. I
work with a vendor that, I buy the chains from them. I'm not buying spools and spools and spools of it. I buy single chains that are made for one person, and then I only carry a handful of them. If people want a different chain that they carry, then I order it in for them.
Yeah.
Not too much cost for me. Someone else is providing quality material that's not going to tarnish. I know where it's coming from. Everything's licensed, so it makes it easier.
That's really neat. And it's smart to have, like you said, to have a breaking point where it makes it safe to wear, especially being in an area where people are doing a lot more of things that and
people are like, well, how long is it going to last? I'm like, well, mine are on. I've had 2 on for 3 years and 1 for 2.
I'll hold it up a little. I want to see.
So Yeah.
That is so cool. I feel like I would be actually happier if this here were permanent and like I knew that it could not come off. I would actually, that would give me peace of mind because I feel
I've
like
actually taken
feeling for it to make sure I haven't lost
this one I have on. It's not a permanent piece, but I actually took the clasp off and made it permanent. So then I'm not having to worry about the clasp pulling my hair or anything, or the chain coming down and sitting here.
Yeah.
It's all just right there.
That is really, I've never heard of that before. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
It's
And
a lot of fun.
I just thought of it off the top of my head now when we're talking about hobbies and stuff, but I have to give a quick shout out to one of my good friends and one of our Rebel competitors, Rory Lewis. I don't know if you have met, or she's Shelby Hall's partner. They do.
I haven't met her yet.
So Rory, I don't know how recently, but recently came to my attention that Rory has been making custom felt hats.
Oh my gosh.
Freehand burning designs into them, which I didn't even know was a thing. And I just look it up. That's all I'll say.
Well, we have a lady that does it here, and they use stencils to do theirs.
Okay.
But freehand's more like really impressive.
She said my daughter rides horses. She rides Western, and she wanted a new cowgirl hat for Christmas. And I always want to get something like cool, meaningful. That's like not just something I'm ordering on Amazon or something from a shop that everybody else has. So I reached out to Rory, and she did a hat for her. And she said, "Well, I've never done horses. I wanted her to put horses on. I've never done horses before, but we'll see how it goes. You should see it go on one of my social media pages, and there's pictures. It just." This is the first time you've ever drawn a horse. Are you kidding me? Anyway, shout out to Rory, because that it does not look easy, and she makes it look easy.
Hidden talents. Yeah.
But I'm like, I find things often that I feel like there was something recently, and it'll come to me later. But there was something recently, same thing. I saw it, and I was like, gosh, that would be, I would love to learn that. And I kind of stopped myself right there just because I have a lot going on right now. At any given moment, I'm like, I'm going to not, but if I'm putting a pin in it for a later time in life, maybe.
Like I saw one where you take fabric and you have a board, like cardboard or something, and you cut your design into it, take the fabric scraps and push it into the lines, and it's supposed to be like a fabric art. Like, it looks really cool, and I want to try it. I'm like, well, hold on.
I remember what it was. It was you just reminded me by saying that clicked for some reason. Just like a big wooden board, and this person takes rope, like relatively small gauge rope, but uses the rope, and by gluing the rope down, different colors of rope and different designs, it's a piece of art. It's an image or picture or landscape, whatever, but it's made out of rope. And I think she uses like recycled trash rope, right?
Okay.
She's found wherever. And huge mountainscape pieces, but they're all pieces of rope. Like the sun will be like a piece of rope twisted up, and the whole thing's full of rope. So it's completely filled in. Anyway, so hobbies for another day.
Yes, exactly. So what is your vehicle preference?
For
off-roading or everyday? Do you have different preferences?
I had specific view. You want a brand? If you want a brand, the answer is Toyota. I know. Okay. Sorry, with the Ford in the background. I have nothing against any other brand. It was just the first my boyfriend in high school who had introduced me to kind of that world. He had a 1990 Toyota pickup, and that was when I was interested, started getting interested in learning how to work on things. So easy. It was so easy. And it was so, the code reading in the old trucks was simple, and everything was mechanical and not so much based on electric. I always had a hard time understanding current flow and like grounds and how, what needs to be where for this to get power. I never really enjoyed all that. So anything newer, I have a hard time with. But just, I think that Toyota for me, having that, and then, the vehicle I bought right at that time, right after, was a Toyota 4Runner, a 91 Toyota 4Runner. Same thing, 22RE, but like it was the newer body style of the time, but it still had the 22RE motor in it. So 4-wheel drive 22RE.
Okay.
Thing was slow as life. But it had its pickup, but it was slow.
Yeah.
You got 5 friends and you're going to the mountains up the 15 grade, you're moving slow. They're easy to work on. That's I think where my love for them developed, and then spending time around people who had Toyota pickup trucks that had been completely ripped apart, rebuilt, huge suspension kits, and going in those trucks out in the desert. And that was just my introduction to it all. Was all very Toyota specific. And so that was my daily driver is a 2006 Toyota Tundra. That's probably the newest vehicle I will ever own. I will continue just finding old trucks in good condition. But I also have and I just realized I'm saying all this with the 1450 Ford Ranger behind me right now.
Those Rangers.
I had more fun in this truck than probably any other truck. So
those older Rangers are something else.
Oh yeah, especially when you put a 302 in them.
I would still have my 96 Camry if it hadn't been deteriorating as much as it was.
Oh no, yeah. And it's you hear it's funny, you hear stories. I think it's just, I don't know, it
had 130,000 miles on it. It had been owned by NASA, and then Steve Hawley took ownership of it, traded it in here. My dad bought it. He's like, this will be good to learn on. Here you go. And then I fell in love with it.
Is it manual?
Story, I didn't know cars in high school. I just knew Fords. And so my dad's like, here's your Camry. And I go to tell like one of the guys, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a car. And they're like, what is it? I'm like, Cam. And they're like, Camaro. I'm like, I think so. Yeah. He's like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, yeah. And then I show up in my Camry and I'm like, he's like, that's not a Camaro. That's a Camry. I'm like, I told you, Cam. You're the one that said Camaro.
I gave you the first 3 letters, okay? You're the one that messed up.
I'm like, I just know Ford, but I absolutely love that little thing. Yeah, Toyota is amazing.
30,000. It should have still been going strong,
All the rubber was deteriorating. My husband and I were like, well, we don't know how to fix this, so let's sell it.
Yeah,
guy that knows how to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold it to a mechanic. He fixed it up and kept it running for another 2 years.
Oh, perfect.
So
perfect. Good.
Yeah.
I definitely like the old Ford trucks. Anytime there's a square body that like rolls down the road, and I'm always it gets my attention for sure. I have
my husband's the same way. And anytime an old truck pops up for sale, he's like, let's buy it. I'm like, hold on.
Oh man.
Let's grab one of our mechanic friends and take a look at it. Hold on.
Yeah. So you're the voice of reason. We don't have one of those over here. That's why we've got running like 10 trucks right now, I think.
Now, I'm only the voice of reason because he bought 3 Lincoln Town Cars within the span of a month.
Oh, that's a lot.
One was a 91 and 2 92s. I'm like, why do we have 2 of the same year? Like, it's not even spaced out between like 10 years or anything. It's 3 within the same 2-year model range. Almost. Okay. So we had 3 Lincoln Town Cars sitting out back for forever. We're down to 1.
You're down to 1. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I know we got marketplace problems over here for sure. It's not a problem. It's a hobby.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh man.
So, who or what inspires you?
Who or what inspires me?
I'll tell you, everyone in Rebel inspires me.
Oh, everyone in Rebel inspires. I mean, our competitors inspire me every day. I mean, especially being out there and just seeing like the grit and determination and like push on when things get, I'd say they're so, I'm inspired by a wide breadth and depth of things in life.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick It's hard to pick just one. I think off the top of my head, my parents inspire me and have inspired me more than anyone. And not because we do the same thing or, you know, had similar paths in life. I just my dad was a phenomenally intelligent, just a PhD in organic chemistry, in bioorganic chemistry, the class that like most chem students or bio students like avoid at all costs. And he went and got himself a PhD in it and had just a fascinating career in so many ways in that world. And then went into coaching and counseling. And I professionally, like his professional life and who he was as a person. He passed last March. And the more and more that I've been kind of digging and going through things, the more and more I'm just fascinated by his life from start to finish. His life from start to finish, it's just phenomenal. And my mom, she just has like the kindest, most caring, most empathetic heart of anybody that I know. And I just the level to which she wants to help and cares about if you're okay and be that I aspire to be that person, because I get caught up in a lot of, in stuff all the time. And I kind of forget that like connecting with and spending time with and being with the people around you that you love the most is so important. And she reminds me of that. She also had a long, extremely successful career in the science field in biotech. And so, she worked every single day. Like she got up, went to work, killed it at work. As you know, my parents split when I was young, and I was with her most of the time. And she worked so hard, planned everything so that we could still go on vacations and do this and do that. I mean, like your typical, but over and above and beyond kind of single mom story. And yeah. Just that the amount of I don't know if if that had been like the path that my life took, would I have that? I mean, I'm tired most days with all the help that I am lucky to have from the people around me. And I don't know how else to say it. So my parents inspire me most. They would allow me to show interest and invest, so to speak, in me, in anything that I showed interest in. And just I could not have asked for a better experience growing up. But I'm inspired most, generally speaking, I'm inspired most by people who have met their lowest moments in life. And from that, no matter what that means, it could be growing up having a rough childhood, or growing up having a great childhood, but going down a wrong path and coming back. But people who have met their lowest moments and find the resilience and courage and faith to crawl out of that and be better for it and better because of it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people in my life who have been through a lot, and I feel like it either destroys you and takes you down with it, or you find a way to take it with you in a productive way that allows you to thrive even better than you were before it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm inspired by people that can push and push and refuse to give up. I'd like to be that person every day.
That's wonderful. So how can we encourage more women to join the automotive community?
How do we encourage women to join the automotive community? I think by portraying and surrounding them with women who are doing it. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's kind of that chain reaction effect in a way. And I can speak to this. I remember I'd always off-roaded as a hobby, but I remember when I kind of first met Emily and through channels and being introduced to Sarah Price, and at the time we were still building the 7S race truck. And I remember being introduced to Sarah Price back when the Lucas Oil series was running, and going to those events and being like, just very much so that feeling of, wow, these women are awesome. Look what they're doing. It makes it feel attainable, because it is attainable. With hard enough work and motivation, anything's attainable. That doesn't apply to all scenarios, of course, but seeing women, seeing other women doing the things that thinking to yourself, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I did that? I feel like getting it in their purview, getting it to the front of their consciousness, if you will. Having women, I'm sure, here's an example. A friend of mine recently, within the last year or so, had bought a Jeep and kind of, really wanted to learn how to drive it, but did not know kind of where to go and what to do. And it's my understanding that in seeing, in social media, seeing posts in general about the Rebelle, and then my posts of being out in the desert and doing this and doing that, is, oh, wow, there is a way. Obviously there's a way and a path somehow for me to learn about this vehicle and learn how to drive it and be able to go out and enjoy doing it. And that, just as example, that person reached out to me, and, I connected them with the Rebelle and with our training program, not to do the Rebelle, but to learn the skills in order to go out there and have fun and enjoy it. And that, which stemmed from seeing another woman doing it, because I think, it's when you see men doing things, there is that kind of embedded, wow, that's really cool, but like, is there a place for me in that? Kind of a question that I think I would imagine a lot of women ask themselves, like, yeah, that's great, but like, how many women are out here doing this? And, if I tried to do it, would I get backlash? Would I be welcomed? Where, those questions pop up naturally. I mean, social constructs and all that good stuff, right? So I think seeing other women doing things it's just kind of that reminder of, oh, well, yeah, that it's caught my attention, and now I'm interested. And it's something that, whether it's motorsports or in another industry that is typically, mostly men in the industry, seeing another woman as a part of that industry, I think just knowing that that exists alone is huge. How do we empower more women to get, or motivate and try to get more women in the industry? I think you're going to get the ones that want the challenge. You're right. You're always going to get the ones that want the challenge, because if they don't want the challenge, and then they're not going to. So you won't get everybody, and that's okay. I don't know. Hopefully that's a good answer for you.
No, that's wonderful. I've really been trying to explore the different jobs in automotive, and women that are doing those things, the journalism, the communications. At Ford, I've talked to a couple women there. I didn't know that there is like designers that, go in and go, what colors would look good in this vehicle, and how do they match, and all of that. That never crossed my mind as a job that's out there. So there's jobs out there that you may not realize are there, but would be perfect for you if you just knew about them. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite, and thank you, Melissa Clark, for sending Sarah my way. It's been really
Thank you, everyone, for joining me for another week of All Women Driven. I hope you liked it and liked learning about what Andrea does with Rebelle and the rally that they do. So join me next time for another week where we look into the past to drive women forward in the future. Have a great day.